Hello, and my name is Corey Burkholder, career transition coach, and I am here with Nina Ponish, who just finished the Purpose Driven Career Program. And we're just sitting here and we're going to be talking about what she created during this program. And she's going to share with us what she's learned about herself and her journey. So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to dive right in. So Nina, I just wanted to ask you, where were you before the program, before you decided to, take this step on your career journey? What were you dealing with before?
So I had made the discovery that I no longer wanted to be doing what I was doing as a career, which was acting. And I was pursuing theater in New York. And I just had this moment where I was like, I don't actually think I want to do this. I really love it, but I don't think it fulfills me in the way of I don't want it to be my career. Uh, and I've been doing theater since I was 11 and have never thought about doing anything else, never even entertained the idea. So all of a sudden, I just was in New York and was like, I don't know what to do with my life. And
And we've
so,
got some doggies in the background. They're
yes,
welcome.
we do. um, and so I was like, okay, well, if I'm not doing theater, then what I do. This is what I've done my entire life. So it was really about taking away this theater identity and this theater career and who am I without this thing that I've been doing my entire life that's defined me. So as well as of it being a career journey, it was also a really big internal emotional journey as well. And so I eventually was like, maybe I need a career coach because I kind of feel like I'm just walking around New York City with no direction.
Mhm.
And I had some ideas of what I wanted to do, but I just really wasn't sure how to take the next tangible steps and kind of how to make it a reality. And so I was really looking for a coach that would combine the emotional side of what I was going through and who would be able to help me move through that as well as being able to take the next logical, tangible steps. And so I really wanted someone who could marry the two because just as much as this was like a career journey, it was a huge emotional journey for me.
Yes,
Um,
I
and
remember.
so then that's why I found you.
Yeah, and I remember, talking with you, and there was a lot of fear around, giving up this identity that you've built
Yeah.
from a very early age, and it was almost like dealing with a death in a way, right? So
Hmm.
we had to deal with that emotional side of it as well.
Yeah. Hmm.
So where do you think you are, like, before you started the program versus now?
Um, I mean, I think the journey is continual and I'm still in it, but I am much further along than I think I could have imagined I would be at. Uh, in terms of like just being so down in the dumps in New York and like getting advice and pulling myself out of that and just I feel like I'm on my way and have taken a lot of steps further into coming to terms with everything and especially finding another sense of purpose and just tapping into what my actual sense of purpose is um, has been, I think that's what's helped me the most to realize, like, oh, I can let go of this thing. It doesn't have to define me. There are other things that I can find. Oh, this is actually helping me become more me than what I thought me was. Uh, so, yeah, so I would definitely say I'm much more secure in the fact that it's okay to lose this identity and then I'll find something else.
Yeah, yeah, thank you for that. So what do you think the three biggest results you achieved during this process for yourself?
Um, hmm, the three biggest. I
Or
would
it doesn't
say,
have to be biggest, but
yeah,
just,
just some
some
of
of
the
the
most important? Well, I think this process has really helped me kind of like clarify what my purpose on this planet is. And
Mm,
I had this very just like general broad sense of like, I want to help and I want to bring joy to people, but like that could be anything. So really like tapping into what that actually means for me as a person. So like all of the breakdowns that we did of like your life values and really like putting those on paper, I think I had an idea of what they were. Uh, but really getting specific and honing into like, yes, this is what your life values are and this is what your work values are, and look how similar or different they are, or how to blend the two, I think has been really important. And I think also because I think a lot of people sacrifice themselves for their job because they need a job, and it's not really in line with any of their values, but they don't know that.
mhm. And now
uh,
you do. Now you do when you feel
I
that way, right?
do. Yeah. Like, you know, something's off, but you don't know what it is. And so really being able to look at it and be like, oh, okay, so like theater met these values, but here are the values I'm really missing.
Mhm.
And I think these are the values that I want to try to find and be able to marry all of my creativity, but put it into something else that's not on a stage. And so that was really cool of like learning that like you can bring this creative side with you,
Mhm.
and it doesn't have to be all of you.
Mhm.
It can be a huge part of you that influences everything else you do. So that was really nice to realize like, okay, I don't have to just like stop singing and stop dancing and stop acting and never look at a stage again. Like, you know, I can still
That's
go to theater.
that unique blueprint, right?
Yeah.
So defining that ideal life and that ideal career, and then we marry those two,
Yeah.
kind of create possibilities around those.
Hmm.
You were really able, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, of just like really being able to do that. And I don't think I would have been able to really do that as streamlined and as clear if I tried to do it on my own.
Mm,
Whereas like having these clear cut steps, because I'm also as creative as I am, I like having steps. So I have this very like focused side to me as well, that likes stability and steps and seeing the procedures and doing them. So having that was really nice.
mm.
So then I never got overwhelmed one way or the other by too many steps or too many emotions to even deal with steps. So it was always nice to be able to find the balance between those two.
Yeah, so the process is designed to give you structure, but
Hmm.
within that structure, a little bit of flexibility and fun and creativity, right?
Yeah, and making it like, even though it was very difficult and emotionally hard, it still was fun. Sounds so, you turn
Yeah,
your life
right?
upside down and it's fun. uh, but there were really fun moments, and I felt like the way that your program is structured is there's a lot of room for uplifting moments,
Mm,
as opposed to like only grieving the loss and like only focusing on that and what's going to happen in this big void. That there was a lot of like, yes, that is there, but also look at all your strengths, and
mm.
also look at the values you have. So it allowed room for both to exist.
I love that. Yeah. Yeah. So great. Well, I'd love for you to share with everybody, what is next for you? What are you working towards at the moment?
So sorry, there's a plane. You're outside, you're gonna get all the noises.
We invite it.
Yes. um, but I guess so. What's next for me is I have decided that my passion lies in educating children. And so that's really the next step is like, I have this huge child side to me that I think I could really use and channel it into working with children. And it still involves a ton of creativity. Uh, but I also like, it feels also the close to acting, but it's totally different. So that's really nice in the sense of like your sense of play and your sense of honesty. And so I'm really excited about that, is kind of the path I've decided to go into, of figuring out how to work with children. Uh, Whether that be, I'm not sure what format, I mean, teacher, but like in terms of like where I'm teaching, when I'm teaching, not sure yet, but definitely know that children are involved. Um, so I'm really excited about that.
Yeah. How does it feel having that clarity now?
It feels really good. It feels like it really marries my like my frustration with theater was that I really felt like I wasn't making a difference in the way that I was being pulled to want to make a difference. Of like the difference felt very abstract, and I really wanted to be able to see it right then and there, the difference. And like, especially with theater, you're on a stage and your audience is sitting down, so you're still really separate, and then they go home and they have their huge transition, so you never, if they have a transition or a revelation from the work you've done, so you don't always know. So I wanted to make more of a direct impact.
Mm.
um, and I think like that's what working with children really allows me to do, is to get invested in them and in their growth, and in helping them grow and navigate this world. um, so I'm really excited about that, and that means that I got my degree in theater. So I also knew coming in that no matter what, I was probably going to need more training or schooling, because I knew that I didn't want to sing, dance, or act, and that's all I've had training in.
Mhm.
Uh, so I was already kind of prepared to like, okay, I'm going to have to learn some new skills here. Um, so I've made the decision that I want to pursue getting a master's in teaching children, as well as other certificates. So that's kind of what is next in terms of like preparing to actually obtain the goal.
Beautiful. And it's just been such a joy to see your path towards really figuring this out and really stepping into a purpose-driven career. And that's what you're going to be doing. You're really going to be empowering little children and using your gifts in the world. So really proud of you.
Thank you.
Um, so one last question. So what would you say to somebody who's considering, thinking or considering the program and working with us as a coach?
Uh, I would say do it. Obviously. Uh, no, I think it just like, I really think it depends on like what it is you're looking for, because there's so many different approaches, and obviously this approach is not everyone's gonna love it, but I think if you're already feeling pulled, to really let yourself be pulled, um, even if it takes you a while, because it's like I found your website, but then it took me a month before I actually reached out and was like, okay, I'm ready to take the steps. But I kept following that pull, and I kept coming back to your website and being like, well, I think this does fit. I'll go look at other people's websites and stuff, and I don't know, I think I should do it. So really just like, I think if you're able to do it and you already feel inclined and you feel a connection, that I think definitely, if you're able to, I would say do it. That it's really, it's worth it, because it's not just about your career, the way that your approach is. So it really is about shaping your entire life. And I think like that was the piece that drew me the most, was like, oh, this approach really like incorporates that I'm a human and I'm not a robot who just works.
Mhm.
So you really like approach the human side of us. And I think like that's really important when you're trying to change your life and turn it upside down, because that involves so much courage. And I really felt like you honored that courage in a way that I'm not sure everybody else does, you know?
Well, it's been an honor working with you and supporting you through this process. I'm just so proud of seeing, where you are now and where you're heading in the future. So
Mm-hmm.
thank you, Nina. And and you better keep in touch and let me know.
I will.
All right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.